You may be seated. Good morning. Thank you to the Eisenhower Band, under the direction of Mr. Haft, for providing our music this morning. It's my pleasure. Oh, yes, absolutely. On behalf of the class of New Berlin-Eisenhower of 2018, I'd like to welcome you all to this year's commencement ceremony. I'd like to welcome the parents, the family members, friends of our graduates, as well as the faculty and staff of our schools, the community members and alumni to our campus and our graduation ceremony, the 48th for New Berlin-Eisenhower. My name is Matthew Buckley. I'm the proud principal here at Eisenhower. I'd like to extend a special welcome to our superintendent, Mr. Garza, our chief academic officer, Dr. Sanders, our school board vice president, Amy Crosby, as well as board members, Nate Nickerson and Kristlyn Holiday Wondrczyk. I'd also like to welcome our other district administrators and staff present this morning. At this time, it's my pleasure to invite the members of our senior choir to please take your spots on the risers. Our choir will present our national anthem, after which you may all be seated, as well as renditions of our alma mater and a song titled "You Will Be Found."
Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets we railed of our bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. The halls ring out the joyous memories of our school so dear, memories fond and not forgotten all throughout our years. Purple and gold forever may you be, may you always be as close to me. As we look to the future, we'll remember. So farewell, friends, until we meet again. As we look to the future, we'll remember. So farewell, friends, until we meet again.
Have you ever felt like nobody was there? you ever felt forgotten in the middle of nowhere? Have you ever felt like you could disappear? Like you could fall and no one would hear?
So let that lonely feeling wash away, 'cause maybe there's a reason to believe you'll be okay. 'Cause when you don't feel strong enough to stand, you can reach
as our senior choir takes their seats, I'm reminded again this year, like I was last year, that it's nearly impossible to follow up something as beautiful as that was. So thank you to Ms. Baertschi and to our senior choir. At this time, I'd like to acknowledge the proud legacy of military service in New Berlin. Today, this proud tradition of service continues as some of our graduating seniors, who, like so many distinguished heroes of Eisenhower before them, will go on to fight for the freedoms and defend the values we cherish today. I can think of no better example of students who exhibit the qualities of active citizenship than these brave young men and women. Would the graduating seniors who will be dedicating the next years of their lives to service in the military please stand? And I also ask any members in our audience who are veterans or active members of our military to stand as well. Please stand. Some of you may know I am the proud son of a career Army officer, former Army brat who was raised on Army bases all over this country. On behalf of the Eisenhower community, to those students who rose and those veterans and active service members who rose, I'd like to publicly acknowledge your bravery and your willingness to serve this country and your fellow Americans. I thank you for your service to this country, past, present, and future. I would also like to note that those students who just stood had red, white, and blue tassels adorning their mortarboards this morning. Those were a gift to those students from our very own New Berlin American Legion Post 488 as recognition of their service to come. So I want to thank the American Legion here in New Berlin for their support of our students and our schools. And while we're recognizing those in our community for their service, it seems to be a fitting time to recognize someone that our school community recently lost. The New Berlin Eisenhower community is saddened by the passing of longtime teacher, coach, and mentor Don Pechota. Coach died suddenly on Tuesday, May 29th. For 50 years, Eisenhower was fortunate to have Coach Pechota teaching and coaching our students. He was hired as a physical education teacher at Eisenhower in 1968. And was an exceptional educator. He officially retired from teaching in 2004, but couldn't stay away from us and his commitments to thousands of students that came through Eisenhower. Those thousands of students were impacted through Don's commitments as a football, high school and middle school boys and girls basketball coach, and boys golf coach. We feel blessed as a community to have had our lives positively influenced by Coach Pechota. We're grateful for his dedication, passion, humor, friendship, professionalism, and mentorship, and we will miss him greatly. I ask you please join me in a moment of silence as we remember a gentleman who made a great impact on our entire community. Thank you. Seniors, how are you? You look nervous. I'm a little nervous too. It's okay, we'll get through this. Today we celebrate the culmination of your years of academic achievement. The class of 2018 has experienced a tremendous amount of success this year and throughout your years here at Eisenhower. Today it's my honor to recognize all of your achievements. Before I go too far, I want to say thank you to the parents, the grandparents, the extended families, teachers, the administrators, the staff, the coaches, the friends of the class of 2018. Our school would not be embedded in the tradition of excellence that we are if we did not all work together to make our school one that is so successful. So thank you to you all for your help in getting these seniors in these seats at this moment in their lives. Students, know that the Eisenhower staff and all of New Berlin and your families are extremely proud of you. I hope you can pause and take a moment today to think about this journey that you've all taken together. It's been full of twists and turns, I assume, and marked by countless challenges, whether they were academic, athletic, artistic, or personal. Led by your class, we've had a tremendously successful year at Eisenhower. Across the board in athletics, academics, and the arts, you have excelled. To be fair, we expect the year to continue this evening at 7 o'clock in Wauwatosa when our girls' soccer team goes out to win the sectional championship. Good luck, ladies. Just another fine example of the talents that this class and this school has to offer. Collectively, this group in front of us has earned over $4 million in scholarships and awards, the highest in school history. Parents tend to clap to that one the most. They're really excited about that one. The positive impact you've had on each other, the underclassmen in our school community as role models, mentors, tutors, teammates, and leaders has been amazing to witness. I want to personally thank you for letting me take that journey with you. It's been an honor to be your principal. I've been part of Eisenhower for 11 years, and this was my 20th year in education. I've always looked at graduation day with mixed emotions. This day is the best one of the year for people like me and people on staff here at Eisenhower. You have to understand that our jobs are investments into the future. You are those investments, and to be quite frank, you are the future. We get to watch you graduate, which you've rightfully earned, and yet we're a little bit sad to see you go and anxious about you leaving. But regardless, in about an hour, give or take, don't time me, but about an hour, there'll be a subtle but important shift in your language, students. Eisenhower will no longer be a place that you go. It will be a place that you are from. To some, that's pretty exciting. To others, maybe a little bit scary. And that's okay. Because today you officially end a routine that you have known for most of your life. Trust me when I tell you, there are some people in the audience who are a little worried about that and anxious too. Being uncertain or a little scared, somewhat nervous about tomorrow, is not always a bad thing. For example, yesterday about 5 p.m. I sat in that chair right there and told Mr. Geminiani and Mrs. Foch, while I was having a subtle panic attack, that I didn't know what I was going to say in this speech today. With a fine dose of tough love, they both looked at me straight in the eye and said, "You'll figure it out," and then left me. So I got a little anxious last night. I knew I had to give the speech, but instead of finishing it, I went home, I ate some graham crackers, I watched a Netflix show about toys from the 80s, and basically avoided getting serious about this until it was probably too late. So being light on ideas and short on time, I did what any of you probably would do. I went to Google. Certainly the interwebs would help me find my inspiration. My search led me to an article entitled, 8 Suggestions for Graduation Remarks by a Principal. I kid you not. So I read it. This is what the top 5 suggestions were. Number 1, connect to your audience and speak to the graduates. Check. Number 2, don't just speak to the graduates. Number 3, don't speak too long, but don't be too brief. Number 4 is look to the future. And of course, number 5, I'm not kidding, was draw upon the past. So apparently if I could pull off all of those seemingly contradictory things, we'll all walk out of here much better. So totally distraught, I immediately closed my web browser and decided to scan Twitter for a while instead. Then I realized and thought to myself, man, this is exactly like being back in high school. So at this point in time, you're probably wondering, where am I going with this? So here's the first dirty little secret about life that you need to know. Showing up on time with your work done, ready to go, is hard. Getting through high school and getting here today was hard for every one of you in all kinds of ways. Not a single one of you sailed through high school. No matter what somebody tries to tell you, you all had your challenges, and we know that. The second lesson in there is that the challenge of balancing things in life is never going to go away. As evidenced by the top 5 of the 8 suggested remarks for principals at graduation, life is full of difficult, conflicting messages. We do the best we can with what limited information we have at the time. We struggle, we hit walls, we procrastinate, and ultimately we trust that what we know and that we will find and know a way to move ahead. In doing so, we learn. And that, my dear graduates, is the beauty of being educated. You've all been given the skills to always move forward and to always continue learning. So I challenge you to think about 3 questions as you stop being students at Eisenhower and head out into the real world. The first one is, how do you live a balanced life when life isn't always balanced? The second is, as you leave this community, are you strong enough to surround yourself with people who inspire or encourage you to continue to move forward? And finally, are you brave enough to be the person that you want to be and deserve to be in this life? Those, my friends, are tough questions. I don't have the answers. I started this speech by telling you about my colleagues and telling you that my colleagues, excuse me, I'm going to say that again. I started this speech by telling you I told my colleagues that I don't know. I also know that some of my best moments of my life have taken place when I've had the humility and the courage to admit that I don't know. Those words led to some of the most meaningful conversations about learning in my life. Class of 2018, if you've learned anything here at Eisenhower, I hope it's that you don't ever need to have all the answers. You didn't know what would happen when you began your career here at Eisenhower. I wager you don't know what will happen now that you've ended your career here at Eisenhower. What you need to have is the courage to admit when you don't know something and be strong enough and willing enough to go out, learn from it, and do something about it. I know you all have that in you, because I've seen it. Your lives will be determined by how you choose to respond when you don't know. Remember that there are enough people in this world, by the way, who will let you take the easy way out with an I don't know answer. Don't sell yourself short by taking that easy out. You are all better than that. As you leave Eisenhower for the final time today, leave knowing that we're proud of you and you are ready. You're ready to take on challenges that this world will bring, and you're ready to go find your own joy within it. I believe in you, and I'm counting on you to do your best. Use your talents, whatever they may be, to continue learning and for the betterment of others. No matter where you go in life, no matter where you end up, be confident in yourselves and be proud. Hold tight to the things that you've learned. Hold tight to what you love, and hold tight to the person that you will become. Class of 2018, congratulations on your graduation. I wish you nothing but the best of luck in your future. We have a tradition here at Eisenhower of having outstanding senior speakers. It's a quiet but critical tradition. I'd like our audience to know that any senior of the graduating class has an opportunity to submit a speech to be considered for graduation, and a school committee selects the 2 speakers each year. This year for the class of 2018, I'm excited to hear what our students have to say. Our first student speaker is senior Amy Wires. Amy, please join me on stage. I didn't know you'd be sitting up front, so my introduction is going to be a little bit longer. I was planning on you coming from the back.
Me too.
Your wires, I thought you'd be back there. All right. Amy is a National Merit Scholarship winner who plans on attending the University of Wisconsin-Madison in the fall. She's planning to major in business as an undergraduate and continue into law school. Amy's accomplishments at Eisenhower are many and varied, and when I asked our staff to describe her, the responses I received included words like compassionate, humble, inclusive, conscientious, and insightful. Mrs. Falk said, "It's obvious in Amy's interactions with all that she sees the value in each individual, and she sees the positive in every situation. Ms. Berchi simply responded by saying, "Amy is an amazing young lady. She's respected by the student body. The students, whether they are freshmen or seniors, all respect her leadership and her talent. She leads by example, and others follow suit." And finally, there was not a person on staff who did not universally agree that she makes a wicked good chocolate chip cookie. Ladies and gentlemen, our first student speaker, Amy Wires.
Thank you, Mr. Buckley, and thank you to everyone here. Distinguished graduates, friends, family, teachers, staff, and administrators, good morning. We have finally reached that moment coveted by all high schoolers, graduation. Whether you are someone who barely passed Algebra 2 or ran out of AP classes to take, we are all gathered together for the same reason, to celebrate our successful completion of high school. Today, I stand before you as a proud Eisenhower graduate and soon-to-be alumna, here to share my take on these past few years. My story begins in 8th grade, when I took the test for the Gifted and Talented program here at Eisenhower. Weeks passed before I received the results of my assessment, and I was certain I would meet the qualifications. But when that letter came and I skimmed to the last line, my heart sank as I processed the message. "You're not smart." Of course, that's not what the letter said. But to my 14-year-old ego, the technicalities didn't matter. The essence was the same. You can't do it. And that's not the only time. I'm sure we're all too familiar with the college rejection letter, the scholarship denial form. I'm not the only one to be heartbroken by a failed audition or a missed shot. Whether you're in clubs, music, drama, sports, whether you're going to be a writer, teacher, doctor, lawyer, wherever life takes you, you will meet failure, and you will be faced with a choice: to accept it or to learn from it. That letter marks one of the greatest failures of my life. It has haunted me, but it has also driven me to work harder, to study longer, and to be better. Yes, I faced rejection, but I also faced possibility. Gifted and talented was a label, nothing more. Just like male and Hispanic or tall and blonde, it was a label I would never apply to myself. It meant nothing to me, and I refused to let it define me or limit my life. In fact, 2 weeks ago, at the senior dinner dance, my peers voted me as the smartest girl in the grade. At least my studying paid off for something. Thinking back to 8th grade, I remember when someone told me, albeit in writing and in not so many words, that I wasn't smart. Maybe not according to the standards of the Gifted and Talented program, but that's okay. I made my own standards, and I exceeded even my own expectations. Sometimes life throws you curveballs. It gets in your way. It measures you and finds you lacking. People will judge you, will label you, will tell you that you cannot, that there's no way, that it's impossible. But no one knows you better than yourself. And you know that you can do it, that there is a way, that nothing is impossible. Labels are just stickers. They can be slapped on or torn off, but they do not define you. Don't let anyone tell you what you can or cannot do. Only you can limit yourself. So when life gets in your way, I encourage you to kindly say, "Excuse me," and stride forward with your head held high. Because you can accomplish anything you want to. Because you can reach the summit and see beyond. Because you can. Graduates, we have broken barriers and set records. When people told us no, we looked them square in the eye and told them yes. But we didn't do it alone. We had our parents, our friends, our teachers there to support us, encouraging us when the going got tough. I would not be here today speaking in front of all of you were it not for some very special people whom I would love to thank. My teachers, for instilling in me a love of knowledge. My friends, for standing by my side and making me laugh, smile, and cry. My family, for being my #1 fan since day one. And my adopted parents, Mr. and Mrs. Hafts, for taking me on spring break trips 3 years in a row. I appreciate each and every one of you for your love and support and for making these past 6 years unforgettable. As we leave this building today, we will continue to change and grow. We will forget our high school worries and find new identities, form new friendships. But I hope you will always keep that spirit and that unwavering faith in yourself. Know yourself, trust yourself, and love yourself. Because when you do, others will follow. You will go on to do amazing things, so don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Today is the end of one chapter, but it is just the beginning of another saga. I wish you all the best of luck in the future, and I cannot wait to see what will happen when you tell the world you can. Thank you, and good luck, class of 2018.
Shake your hand. Thank you, Amy. Our next speaker will be Shruti Narayan. Shruti, please come join me on stage. You were sitting close too? Oh, goodness. Okay. Shruti is a tremendously accomplished student here at Eisenhower, a dedicated member of our orchestra, our student union, the National Honor Society, among others. She's already begun her college education as a student at University of Wisconsin this year, studying, well, I have to look at it, cultural anthropology and human diversity, the light stuff. Shruti will be attending Case Western University this fall, where she's undecided on her major, but dedicated to becoming a doctor. So a pre-med route for Shruti. I asked staff to speak to me and let me know their thoughts about Shruti as well. They were highly complimentary, and I have to say surprisingly candid. Overall, teachers described her as dynamic, sharp, witty, no pressure, smart, and always up for a challenge. You're in the right spot. I was told a story about her leadership while students were on a school trip to Costa Rica. Apparently students had to climb, or chose to climb, I'm not sure. They climbed a 125-foot fig tree. All right, seems like it's true. Shruti could have easily scurried up and down that tree, I understand, but slowed her pace to encourage another student who was visibly struggling and worried that they would fall. When that other student made it back down, they told their supervisor, their teacher, that he could not have made it up or down without your help. That's who she is. Ms. Schlegel called her a dedicated student who she could count on to volunteer and help at every school event. Shruti, someone who actively spreads school spirit and genuinely cares about our school. Finally, Mr. Kimball shared with me that Shruti, and I quote, is what we want all graduates to be when they leave Eisenhower. She's accomplished, she's taken challenging classes, she's a well-rounded citizen, and she's used time to find out what she wants to do, and she has prepared herself to do it. He also mentioned that you took great pleasure in pranking him and seemed a little salty about it. Ladies and gentlemen, Shruti Narayan. In case you need it.
So I decided that in true Eisenhower spirit, I would come up here frazzled and wildly underprepared. So, good morning, staff, students, family, friends, and people sitting in the back mumbling to themselves because they wanted this ceremony to be outside. On behalf of New Berlin Eisenhower, I'd like to welcome you all to the graduation of the Eisenhower class of 2018. I'd like to take a quick moment to thank the administration for allowing me to speak today. So thank you to Mr. Buckley, Ms. Foch, Mr. Fitzgerald, and to the Silver Fox himself, Mr. Kevin Gemignani.
Thank you.
Now, it's been a long journey for a lot of us. For many of us, New Berlin has been home since before we can remember. Others of us have joined the Ike family somewhere along the path between kindergarten and right now, senior graduation. I remember when I was in kindergarten at Elmwood Elementary, looking up to all the seniors in awe, amazed at all the life they had already lived. To be fair, I still look up at seniors now, but it's more for height reasons than anything else. We have all changed so much as people, not only in appearances, quick shout out to when braces and duck faces were all part of our appearances, but also mentally and emotionally. I know I'm not alone when I say that our grade has evolved into something truly special. We don't conform to the high school stereotype of aggressively defined cliques. We all have our different activities and interests, but at the end of the day, we're not afraid to talk to anyone else in fear of our school breaking out into song and dance about how we aren't sticking to the status quo. No, no, no. Whether you entered our grade forever ago or just a short while ago, I'm fairly certain in saying that you have found a home here in the friends and memories you've made. As much as I could say that we've changed, Eisenhower has evolved as well. It's no secret Eisenhower underwent some pretty significant renovations during our time here. And it was possibly to appeal to the youth. And you know what? 20 flat-screen TVs later and 1 Commons Cafe, we, the youth, are definitely attending the hippest school around. So, who are we now? Who have we become both as a collective and as individuals? Well, to say that we're a group of talented students is an understatement. This class has record-breaking stats with students that excel in every field. If what I say applies to you, would you please briefly stand up? Well, the artists and musicians, some of whom won awards on the regional, state, and national levels, please stand up. Will the actors, actresses, stage crew, and pit, whose dedication has resulted in countless Tommy Awards, please stand up. Will all of our Eisenhower athletes please stand up? And lastly, will the real Slim Shady please stand up? I repeat, will the real Slim Shady? Thank you, thank you. But actually, I'm not even going to try to name all the accomplishments of Eisenhower athletics. But in short, we have conference, state, and national champions sitting amongst us. Our grade was also the home to the perfect ACT and SAT scores, as well as the most national merit scholars this school has seen in 1 year. In addition to the most scholarships awarded to students, totaling up around $4 million. But above all, our grade has showed incredible skill, dedication, and leadership when we placed first in the coveted Eisenhower Homecoming Pep Week. As a class, we worked hard. We pushed boundaries. We expected excellence. And did we achieve excellence? Well, that's not the point. The point is we got through thick and thin and came out the other side stronger for it. How many of us saw our families broken up by contrasting ideologies? Saw friends turn their backs on friends because of a difference of opinion, all because people didn't know if the dress was black and blue or white and gold. I was told to change this joke to reference the Yanny versus Laurel debate, but I refuse since the answer is clearly Laurel, so is it even a debate at this point? Now, a graduation speech would not be complete without thanking those who have brought us, the graduates, to where we are today. I'd like to personally thank my mom and dad for supporting me through all my choices, my ups and downs, for being there for me with a cup of coffee when I was up late finishing a project, for giving me the freedom to enjoy life and the guidance to do it right. I think I speak for everyone when I say we owe a lot to our parents. But while our parents supported us at home, it was our teachers who supported us at school. Thank you to all the teachers who have taught me and all the teachers that haven't. All the successful students you see today are the result of your hard work. Thank you, Mr. Schrader, for writing a letter of my name up on your big red truck. Gracias a Señor Falk para ser mi mamá en Costa Rica. Thank you to all the teachers who put up with my impossible sense of sarcastic and snarky humor. Special shout out to Mr. Kimball on that one. Thank you to Mrs. Herbst for teaching me to see the highlights and shadows in art, and to all the teachers for teaching me to see the highlights and shadows in life. You are the reason we are who we are today. Seniors, we all have dreams that we can reach. We all have the potential to change the world in some way. Think of this not as the end, but as the beginning of the rest of our lives. We can become whatever we want: lawyers, doctors, athletes, artists, teachers, engineers, principals, even like a successful owner of a Arizona Culver's franchise. But jokes aside, we worked up to this moment for so long. We as a class have shown hard work does reap rewards. With all the chaos the world has thrown at us, we have persisted. We didn't just survive high school, we conquered. So let's take one last moment to think of ourselves as Eisenhower students, as members of all the clubs and teams, as whomever we felt we have been up until this point. And let's enjoy them as if they are present instead of our past one last time, while we're young, dumb, dumb, and broke. Young, dumb, broke high school kids. Thank you and congratulations to the graduating class of 2018.
Thank you, Shruti. At this time, I'd like to invite your senior class president, Maggie Colhart, to the stage. Maggie plans to be an Eagle at the University of Wisconsin lacrosse next fall, where, calm in my heart, she plans to become a teacher of special education. Maggie served her class and our school exceedingly well in her role as president, and there's no doubt she'll be an outstanding teacher someday. She will present the class key to rising senior and representative of the class of 2019, Amanda Jensch. I ask Amanda to please come join us on stage as well. You ready? I'll hold on to it. Want me to hold on to it? Okay, sure. Your senior class president, Maggie Colhart.
Good morning, staff, families, and the graduating class of 2018. The day we all have been anticipating is finally here. First and foremost, congratulations. We all deserve it. As class president, I'm so proud of this group. We are smart, hardworking, and diverse. This large collection of individuals have definitely left their mark on New Berlin Eisenhower High School. Our many different talents were evident as we accomplished a lot independently and as a whole. From the students who earned a perfect ACT and SAT scores to the boys football and girls basketball teams fighting their way to state. Each person is as impressive as the next. Although our class members possessed wide-ranging talents and interests, we always encouraged one another and shared in each success. Eisenhower has equipped each of us with a great foundation to pursue further education, a career, service to our country, or any other next step. While we collectively go in numerous directions, we all share our New Berlin roots. Each of us have made lifelong friends and created lasting memories. Thus, as we take the first step into the next part of our stories, we will always keep Eisenhower in our hearts. As we all move forward in life's journey, I would like to share a few encouragements. We all realize that it is easy to worry about many aspects of life and our future, but it is important to understand that much of what happens to and around us is beyond our control. Although this is true, each one of us has the opportunity to forge our own paths by the actions we take and the words we speak. Be prepared for the unexpected and always follow your heart and intuition. Once again, congratulations, graduates, and thank you, Eisenhower, for a memorable 4 years. Time to turn the page to the next chapter. As the class president of 2018, it is my honor to pass off the class key to Amanda Jensch as the representative of the new senior class, and we give our best wishes to the class of 2019.
There we go. All right. Graduates, I want to start with saying congratulations, because you've finally done it. You sit here today looking back at the last 6 years with hopefully fond memories, except maybe the time that we had no ceilings. You've accomplished so much in your years here at Ike, between state championships in various sports, outstanding musicals, and numerous artistic and academic achievements. Eisenhower and New Berlin should be truly proud to call you its graduates. This past year, you've been saying goodbye. Last competitions, last football games, last dances, final sports banquets, final curtain calls, walking the halls of the elementary schools in your graduation caps and gowns, and saying farewell to the teachers and friends with which you will part ways when you leave for your life beyond Eisenhower. This same fate lies in store for us, the junior class, next fall as we take your place as Eisenhower seniors. We will say the same string of goodbyes as we experience the same lasts. But our first goodbye happens today. We say goodbye to you. You've been our friends, our teammates, our classmates, and most of all, our role models throughout our years here at Ike. We've gone on an incredible journey together throughout these past years. I walked into marching band camp, the August before my freshman year, a little timid, as any 14-year-old would be, walking into a group of older high schoolers. But the then sophomores who now sit here today in graduation caps and gowns made me and the rest of the freshman members feel welcome and helped us learn how to become hopefully productive members of the group and leaders in our own right. I can honestly say that some of my best memories of high school were made with you. I had the same experience when I joined the theater program and the soccer team. In each instance, your class stepped up to help the new members with a kindness and a willingness to work towards a common goal. Your support has continued through to now, always there for the people that needed you. You've helped us become the people we are today, leading by example and fostering an environment of laughter and teamwork that we will always carry with us. We thank you, graduates, for making memories with us throughout these past 5 years, 6 years, however many years you've been here at Ike. With your graduation comes sadness to see you go, but also excitement to see what you will do. Thank you for being people for us to look up to dream with, and most of all, for being our friends. This goodbye is our first, and by far, one of the most difficult. Thank you for leading our school, for making incredible memories, and for laughing all the way through. We will do our best to follow in your footsteps, for honorable footsteps they are. Best of luck to all of you in your plans and dreams after graduation. Congratulations, class of 2018.
At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce and welcome Mr. Joe Garza, Superintendent of the School District of New Berlin and proud parent of 2 Eisenhower students himself, to present for acceptance the graduating class of 2018.
Congratulations, graduates. As the Superintendent of Schools of the School District of New Berlin, it is my absolute pleasure and honor to certify to the School Board of the School District of New Berlin that the students before you of the New Berlin Eisenhower class of 2018 have satisfactorily completed all high school graduation requirements for New Berlin Eisenhower High School, the School District of New Berlin, and the state of Wisconsin. As the Superintendent of the School District of New Berlin, Vice President Crosby, and fellow board members, I am recommending that all of the students before you of the class of 2018 be officially named high school graduates.
As the Vice President of the School District of New Berlin Board of Education, and on behalf of the entire Board of Education, and by the authority vested in me, I accept the Eisenhower class of 2018 for graduation. I now officially present to you the Eisenhower class of 2018. Congratulations to you all, and best of luck.
Thank you. Well, give me the... Dylan Jeffrey Abbott. Ozge Melis Aunbe. Sophie Elizabeth Anderson. Joshua J. Andrioni. Brett Matthew Angiolo. Nathan Stephen Anthes. Moira Elizabeth Arcuri. Yalgan Badrak. Emily Ann Barnes. Dominic Armand Battistini. Michael William Bauman. Jacob Frederick Belangi. Caitlin Rose Bembenek. Olivia Catherine Pickelheld. Lenny James Biller. Grace Ann Blessington. Adam Ryan Berner. James Edward Bornemeyer. Erica Nicole Brodagam. Brett John Braza. Aaliyah Cheyenne Brown. Daniel Thomas Brown. Nina Marie Bruno. Ryan Patrick Buchholz. Caitlin Nicole Bukta. Abigail Rose Buck. Erica Joan Beekle. Vincent Bowie. Zachary Tyler Burby. Allison Faith Bergdorf. Olivia Gwen Kennedy. Julia Noelle Carson. Abby Lynn Carter. Benjamin Connor Chapin. Justin Ernest Choi. Olivia Jean Ciardo. Mitchell Andrew Cole. Thomas William Council. Amanda Elizabeth Crosby. Nicholas Ludwig de France. Lauren Noreen Damasic. Grace Ann Durome. Anthony Diedrich. Eric Michael Diedrich. Avery Patrick Daniels. Adam Jeffrey Dornbos. Kyle David Dorhorst. Nathan Wayne Das. Danielle Danae Duville. Ryan Dale Dreyer. Radhika Dua. Anna Christine Evans. Jake Michael Ewald. Caitlin Elizabeth Fairbrother. Rachel Maria Fedorchek. Devin Matthew Fish. Haley Jean Fortier. Abigail Margaret Frederick. Valerie Marie Gannier. Ian James Gatsky. Lance Mackenzie Gebert. Nathaniel John Trussell Gores. Madeline May Gorel. Kelly Laura Gottschalk. Maggie Louise Goetz. Alicia Rose Grankorbitz. Gabrielle Lauren Green. Bailey Marie Gretzen. Tyler Coleman Gritchka. Stefan Paul Halyuson. Lena Hamden. Brittany Kate Handel. Kira Grace Hankus. Cooper Lee Hawley. Kellen Paul Hintz. Andrew David Hintzman. Samir Hossein. William Huang. Gavin Arlo Holman. Molly Virginia Jacobs. Eric James Chashinsky. Kayla Joe Yanjiski. Travis Christopher John. Kayla Elizabeth Judds. Miranda Ann Calfhammer. Peter Michael Katras. Carl James Kaczynski. Michael Patrick King. Benjamin Andrew Kazarik. Kayla Ray Koenigs. Margaret Rose Colhart. Brandon Michael Collada. Eric Jeffrey Comas. Jordan Michael Coram. Kanisha Male Kunga. Kyle John Kraninger. Ashley Rose Krieger. Jonathan Alan Krzyzewski. Lucas Daniel Kurtz. Sanjana Pavan Kumar. Austin John Kozinski. Anthony Lai. Nicholas William Lamstrom. Anna Catherine Lang. Joseph Robert Lang. Brian Thomas Lavin. Amanda Marie Leader. Sarah Ann Leidinger. Paige Elizabeth Lewicki. Andrew Kwok Lean. Megan Marie Lois. Kyra Rose Loomer. Coker McLean Lucas. Seth Christian Luckman. Katie Nicole Ludwig. Maya Leon Lucis.
Michael Stephen Louie. Alexis Malia Lyles Santos. Aaron Mingtao McDonald. Jordan Mackenzie Main. Madeline Pope Mainwood. Alyssa Marie McKinnon. Lucas Ryan Makowski. Vanessa Liz Marin. Sarah Ann Maring. Abby Lynn Marzlikowski. Ashley Nicole Mantilla. Megan Jo Meyer. Megan Jane McCarthy. Anna Pearl McCormick. Brian Zhuzhang May. Maxwell Richard Milkovich. Bryce Joseph Miller. Alyssa Renee Minturn. Joseph Armando Valdez Mulvena. Joyita Nag. Shruti Lakshmi Narayan. Michael Jerome Nee. Yevgeny Yakovlevich Yundaidik. Tommy Ming Nee. Emma Rose Olenzak. Jaden David Olson. Kayla Michelle Olson. Kyle Michael Olson. Paige Ann Paskey. Isabella Grace Pasamani. Mahi J. Patel. Shagar Patel. Devin Thomas Pulowski. Madeline Robin Purtle. Jet Armand Phillips. Cole Andrew Pichet. Jonathan Lee Pintar. Thomas James Pluskowski. Hannah Julia Pockelman. Jacob James Pod. Justin Joseph Pop. Grace Ashley Pokilla. Alicia Ann Putney. Harrison Gerald Cortana. Dominic William Quirk. Samantha Ryan Ramsey. Madison Marie Ranta. Cameron Hope Raposa. Kiona Rash. Jessica Lee Reginato. Anna Giselle Resch. Connor James Risberg. Giancarlo Rodriguez. Jenna Kathleen Rogolinsky. Ashley Taylor Ross. Addison Michaeline Saget. Bowden Nathaniel Psyche. Bailey Baltz Sandel. Matthew Arlen Satula. David Anthony Scalzo. Benjamin Christopher Schaefer. Devin James Schlicht. Grant Allen Schwab. Robert Brennan Schweigel. Tate Isaac Seeley. Ava Estelle Seifert. Jacob Ryan Seifert. Camille Marie Sem. Shweta Sharma. Maria Antonia Skoufis. Colin John Slattery. Evelyn Rosemary Slosky. Allison Ann Slonak. Audra Mary Smith. Caitlin Michelle Smith. Tyler Colton Smukowski. Robert Hugh Schneider. Mary Helen Summers. Ashley Ray Sorensen. Olivia Ann Spar. Maya Linnea Michelle Sparacino. Theodore Daniel Spitz. Grace Elizabeth Statfield. Renee Lee Steinbach. John Gordon Stelter. Catherine Mary Stoiber. Tavia Serba Stoyanovich. Alyssa Marie Stuckert. Brooke Michaela Sullivan. Eric Justin Tyne. Max Allen Tipple. Anthony Earl Tordick. Emma Louise Torres. Cooper Brendan Waring. Nicholas Michael Weaver. Alex Charles Weiner. Mitchell Matthew Weiss. Amy Jean Wires. Michael William White. Conrad Everett Weeb. Allison Ann Weezy. Melissa Lynn Winter. Olivia Louise Wood. Heather Dawn Richa. Bailey Ann Zank. Cassandra Michelle Zymet. Congratulations, class of 2018.
Very nearly there. Congratulations. I'm pleased to invite our senior class president, Maggie Colhart, back to our stage to conduct your final act as students at New Berlin Eisenhower, our Tassel ceremony. Seniors, please stand.
All right. To commemorate earning a diploma at Eisenhower High School, each graduate should now move the tassel on their cap from the right to the left.
Graduates, remain standing, please. Good job. Now the part that everybody really wants, will you please turn and face the audience and wave to your parents and your families and your friends. Ladies and gentlemen, the graduating class of New Berlin Eisenhower 2018. Can you do it from right here? With me? With me? Families and friends, we also ask you now to get out your cameras. I'm going to hand the microphone to Ms. Colhart one last time to lead our seniors in their cap toss.
All right, after the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you all for coming. Thank you for supporting our students in our school. We appreciate everything you do. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend.